Hello folks, we're excited to be here to present our talk, Django Girls, a decade in review and beyond, where we explore the journey Django Girls has taken since the inception 10 years ago, and the plans that we have for the future. And before we get into our talk, we just want to introduce ourselves and also introduce Django Girls. So Django Girls is a non-profit that is registered in the UK that empowers women to organize free workshops by providing the resources they need, such as a website, emails, designs, and manuals, and all our resources are open source. So about myself, so my name is Anna Makarudze. I'm a software engineer based in Harare, Zimbabwe. So I'm part-time fundraising coordinator for Django Girls, and I'm also one of the trustees. I'm a former president of the Django Software Foundation, chair of the organizing committee for DjangoCon Africa, and I've also organized PyCon Zimbabwe 2016 and 2017, DjangoCon Europe 2018, and many other events. Okay, so I had introduced myself. So next up we'll go to Rachell.
Yeah, hi. I am a bit nervous, I'll tell you that, but I'm so excited because I'm just here with a bunch of friends, so thank you for joining me. My name is Rachell Calhoun. I'm a software developer at a medical device company called Stryker, and if you want to talk about how awesome I am later, I use she, her pronouns, so feel free. My journey with Django Girls began in 2015 in Korea, Seoul. I started learning Python there with a little community, and then I became an organizer of Django Girls. And through that, I got connected with the Django community. And my first conference was actually DjangoCon Europe through an opportunity grant, where I met some great people, and actually that was when I decided that I wanted to pursue Django as a career. So thank you. And from then I've organized and coached with Django Girls in various locations. And now I'm a Django Girls trustee. I've also co-founded Django Space. If you haven't heard of that, come find me. I'd love I'd love to talk about that as well. And I have an updated bio, which I have to tell you about. A couple days ago, a friend of mine who I respect and look up to in the Django community said that I was one of their Django heroes. So I'm gonna get myself a cape and to put that in my bio. So yeah, that's all right. So today we're going to talk, this is an overview, we're gonna talk about the origins of Django Girls, how it evolved over time, and then the challenges we've had to overcome and the solutions we've found to do that kind of have shaped us as an organization. We'll also look at some success stories because we're awesome and we want to share that. It's because of you, it's because of us. Let's celebrate. It's our 10 years. And then going forward, what's the plan? And then of course the call to action. All right, so I'll take you through the origins. How did it all start? So Django Girls was started in 2014. The very first event was held in Berlin, Germany, as part of EuroPython. It was organized by Ola Sitaska and Ola Sedeska. And the reason why they organized the first event was they saw how women were underrepresented at tech events. There would usually be more white male than any other proportion, including women. So they decided to organize free workshops to inspire women to fall in love with programming by creating their first experience with tech to be fun. And the amazing first experience with technology comes from being introduced to the tech and programming world in a friendly and not so formal, but also welcoming environment that showcases also women as software engineer role models. So what we do is we introduce women plus to programming and web development using Python and Django. We have developed resources that we use. We have our tutorial, which is used by, I've heard many organizations in the Django community telling me that when they have new developers whom they want to introduce, their new hires to introduce them to technology, they actually use our Django Girls tutorial instead of the tutorial that is on the Django website, on the Django, or the official Django
website. Then we also have an organizer manual that is meant to help organizers on how to organize their first workshop. We also have coach's manual if you are going to be a coach at our Django Girls event. We also have guidelines on how you are supposed to be doing the coaching, because our format is different from the other workshops that you normally know, where you have a presenter or in the front and giving people instructions on how to do anything. For our setup is each participant has their own laptop and they go through the tutorial at their own pace. And as a coach, you're only there to explain concepts that they don't understand. So you treat each attendee as an individual and help them with their needs, not as part of a group, but as an individual. We also have tutorial extensions, which are meant to give our participants some sort of homework to do afterwards, and then we've frequently asked questions for organizers. In case you are stuck with your event, you don't know how to do it, we have frequently organizer questions where you can see what other organizers have gone through. So after the first event, within the first year, there were 54 events organized in 24 countries across the globe with 93 volunteers. So already there was like a demand for support which was greater than what Ola and Ola could do. So they needed people to help them handle the workload. So this led to the creation of the first support team to help them deploy events, response to emails to organizers, because at that time Django Girls was not registered, so they could not employ anyone to manage the workload. So the first support team was made up of Ola, and then we had Baptiste, who joined together with Anya. They joined in January 2015. Then we also had Cassia and Geoff, who joined in June 2015, and then Lacey joined in July 2015. And together they worked with Ola and Ola to support the organizers to maintain the resources, merging pull requests to our open source resources, while they were working towards registering the non-profit. And then in 2015, on the 24th of August, Django Girls was registered as a non-profit in the UK. With the mission to empower women to organize free programming workshops for women by providing the tools and resources, like we said before. And the first board of trustees was set up, it had Ola, then Anya and Baptiste, and they served from August 2015 to August 2020, when they stepped down for the new board to take over.
All right, thanks, Anna. So how it evolved. We're going to look at, like I had mentioned before in the overview, some challenges that we've had to overcome and the solutions that we've chosen to approach those different challenges, and how that's shaped us as an organization. So I don't know if you all are aware, but burnout is a thing that people struggle with in open source. Also sustainability. We have not found the solution, but we have found some solutions that work for us. And you can see here how fast Django Girls has grown. So challenge, scaling burnout, and sustainability of the organization. We see Django Girls' growth in the first 5 years. And you can see 2014, and from then it keeps increasing and it peaks at 2017 with lots of workshops and organizers all around the world. And so how does an organization, how do we maintain that, just to keep things running, maintain the website, translations, and all the materials and updated. So our solution was to get some new help. And so Dayang, my beautiful wife, and myself, and Aisha Bello, we all joined as the support team to help in different aspects. And then another solution was to pay people. So it turns out, yeah, right? Paying people is a solution to burnout, and it's helped us immensely. So Lucy Day was hired as the Awesomeness Ambassador from 2015, and she worked amazingly keeping things running on the admin side of things of Django Girls as a nonprofit organization. And she had to leave in 2017, go on to new adventures. But we lucked out. We found some great folks to help out and fill those roles, so we actually ended up splitting the Awesomeness Ambassador into 2 roles. Anna here, she had great experience with fundraising, so she became our fundraising coordinator, and she's also taking on, since then, she's been managing our website, the heavy lifting there. So thank you, Anna. And then Claire Witcher, she had an experience with organizing a lot of tech events in the UK, and she was really plugged into the community there. So she joined as the Awesomeness Ambassador and the admin side of things. And so together, they've brought us here until today. And so it's been a while, it worked. We laid the foundation for years in the future. So it turns out paying people helps. And to pay people, I'll plug in, we need money, so donations. All right, another solution tackling the same challenge with burnout and sustainability for our organization is a new board of trustees. So we have Leona So joined us. She's in the UK. Anna, Aisha Bill, me, and Claire Witcher. We're all on the trustee. All right, the next challenge I want to talk about, it can be a little heavy, but we have to talk about heavy things. So diversity and inclusion. So as an organization, we try to champion that we are inclusive, that we are welcoming, and that everyone should feel safe. And so we need to ensure that we are actually inclusive and devoid of racial bias in our processes and resources. And this includes our language, imagery, materials, and practices. So in 2020, with the horrible murder of George Floyd, that kind of awoken folks to some racial disparities and systemic racism all around the world. And as an organization, we looked inward as well, and how can we improve ourselves, and what can we do in our small corner of the world. And so one thing we did was we got a recommendation to talk to Pravan Patel at theteacherist.com. And the image here says, becoming anti-racist is not a quick fix, it's a lifelong education. And so we invited him to do an audit of all of our resources and processes to see what could we improve on. And so let's look at what we found. I won't talk about all of them, we don't have time, but I'll highlight some interesting ones we found. The first one, for the inclusion audit findings and actions. Using photos from workshops that show our global and diverse audience on our website, our sponsor decks, and social media. This was an easy win because we have a Flickr account where we encourage organizers to upload their images. So we had a great number of photos to choose from, and we've been using those to try to represent folks from all over the world. And we've also updated our sponsor deck, thanks to Anna, and we've been using them in social media. We've also had a new video made. I don't know if you've seen our website, but we had a video, I think from the first year of Django Girls, and have since, finally, we got a chance to update that, and that'll be a fun surprise later. The next thing is using inclusive language. Django Girls. Well, girls, does that include me? Like, am I welcome in this space? So we wanted to be very, very explicit that we are inclusive of our non-binary and trans friends. And we have that on the website. We try to be really explicit about that. The next example was remove examples in our materials that are exclusionary. And the one example I'll share here is when trying to explain how magical Django Girls is, that feeling of like doing some amazing thing and getting exciting, they were using, or our materials was using the example of going to Disneyland. But maybe not everyone knows what that is, or maybe that's not something in their world, so and that's very Eurocentric, so we wanted to remove that. And we could find better words, because words do matter. And the last finding was to encourage and support translations of our resources. I hope you all, so something that I'm really proud of, we have our tutorial in 20 different languages. That's pretty awesome. We can always add more though, so contributions welcome. But our website had not been translated. So thanks to Anna and Mark Walker, we have started on that as well to try to be more inclusive.
The other challenge that we had was that diverse perspective and cultural differences. Like Rachell is from the US, I'm from Zimbabwe, and most of our board of trustees were either in North America, the UK, or Africa. So we realized that our perspectives were not as diverse as our community. So we decided to, we needed to address that because we felt that other communities were not represented, given that by 2020 we are already operating in more than 90 countries across the globe. So what we did was we came up with a solution to come up with an advisory board to help us shape the direction of Django Girls. So what was the benefit? So what we did, a call for applications to find people on social media, so that and what we're looking for was, what is the benefit to Django Girls if somebody joined at, does the applicant really want to be involved with Django Girls? Will they provide insight into specific area of diversity and inclusion, or do they have like specific ideas that they want to, that they have, that can help improve or shape the future of Django Girls? And we tried our best, and this is our advisory board. We have Sandra Item, Giselle Frederick, Noah Aloru from Ghana. We also have Hara and Calhoun, Gibson, sorry. Okay, so we tried to incorporate everyone who had a different background from what we already had in our board of trustees, and together we make up the support team. But the difference with our advisory board now is they sit with us in meetings and give us ideas, though if they don't do so much hands-on work like we did with the first support team, where they had to do lots of work, because now we have paid staff. So they are just there to help us shape the direction of Django Girls by providing their diverse ideas from what we would actually have if it were just left to the 5 of us.
All right, thank you. So the next challenge that I wanted to discuss is reach. I saw something a few months ago, I couldn't find it again to share it with you, but it was talking about like it's not enough to do good things or amazing things, you have to tell people about it. And it's not just bragging, bragging rights, it's also to find people who are also passionate about that and to inspire others. And so the challenge for us was, we used to have, and we used to upload frequently on our blog. So for the first few years, we published your Django stories to showcase on our community blog, but for the last few years, these stories haven't been published, so we had a gap and we had no way of showcasing these success stories. So our solution there is a podcast. If you've not heard it, I would encourage you to go check it out, Django Girls Podcast. Our hosts are Leona and Aisha. They're amazing to talk to, they're really friendly. If you have a fun story, then I encourage you to share it. I've already met a couple people this morning just at the booth who came to me and said, I am in tech because of Django Girls. Like, I'm working in Django because of them. So we'd love to hear your stories. And it's amazing to hear people's stories with their own voice. Instead of like in written form in a blog, you can hear it from themselves, right? And that's really nice. We want to uplift the community and capture the impact of Django Girls with individual stories. And so this is Maria, if you can see her. She was featured on the blog a year ago, I think, and Aisha, last year she did Keynote at DjangoCon Europe, and she had mentioned her, so I'm here to give an update. She's my very close friend, 20 years, but she was an occupational therapist. She switched careers because of COVID. She couldn't work anymore in the hospital, so over the years, I kept telling her, ever since I got into tech, you should do programming, you should do it. Here, just like slide her some information, like check it out. And finally she did, and turns out she loved it. I was right. It's not a surprise. But anyway, the story here is that she's a part-time Django developer, and that allows her time. She published a book with a major publishing company. She also, she had said to me, I'll read it in her own words. She says, "Because of you, my daughter exists." She recently had a baby, and I wanted to highlight her story because, like, we think of getting a job, right, or leading a community, but like sometimes people's goals and success stories for them is having a family. And in the US, healthcare and childcare costs are super expensive, so so she wasn't even thinking of having a family before she got into tech and had that job. So I wanted to highlight that, and that's a valid success story. We don't hear a ton of those, but I think that's amazing.
And the next challenge that we face now is burnout, sustainability again, and this time it was our awesomeness ambassador, Claire. We started around the same time in 2017, June, but then life happens. So by 2022, she had a lot going on. She was doing a graduate studies. She had a family to raise. She now has 2 girls. And she also had a full-time job, so she had little time and energy left to do the Django Girls admin work that she had been doing. And so this led to things slowing down in our community. And we also, we started losing visibility. Also, it also happens to coincide during this very same period with COVID. So we had less blog posts going out, and generally things were just slowing down in our Django Girls world, and we needed to come up with a solution, and we did, and which was to hire more folks. So to address this issue, Claire decided to step down on her own from the awesomeness ambassador role and hire someone to replace her. But then we realized that her role had so much going on. There was the finance and admin part, replying to emails, and then also social media. And we decided to split the roles into 2, like what happened with the fundraising coordinator and the awesomeness ambassador. So we decided to introduce a new role, which is for communications officer. And we advertised, and we on LinkedIn, and to eliminate bias, we used blind scoring from each of the trustees, and we made sure that there were 3 people in the interviews. And after collecting the information, we hired Suze Shadlow and Misha. So Suze is our current awesomeness ambassador, and then Misha below, she joined as communications officer, but unfortunately she couldn't stay long with us due to moving to another role and some personal matters. So yes, and then the other challenge that we faced was global reach and inclusivity. So our website was only available in English for many years and not as widely translated as our tutorial. So we realized that this was a problem because despite being used all over the globe, it was in English, which is convenient for native English speakers, but not so much for non-native English speakers. So we decided to do translations, and a shout out to Mark Walker. He couldn't be here, but he said he'll be watching virtually. He has been leading the translations for our project in Django. And so far, unfortunately, the image is very small, but German is the most widely translated language now. Spanish, Portuguese, French, Persian, they're a bit behind. So if you are there, and you want our website to be available in your language, this is a call for action for you. You can get involved. The link for joining is right there.
We can share it.
We can also share it on the slide. So that's an area for contribution if you would like to join us.
All right. I get all the fun topics. Okay, so so the next challenge was COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, and so Django Girls hosts in-person events, having that very positive. I don't know if you know, you know, but having a very positive, energetic, celebratory vibe at these workshops is part of our brand. And because workshops or in-person meetings were shut down during COVID, it's had a huge impact negatively on our organization. And the slide says in-person workshops aren't possible due to a worldwide ban on gathering during COVID. And you can see in the graph that 2019 we had quite high numbers for organizers and workshops. And then 2020 it dropped drastically. And so how could we adjust to this? And I'm happy to say that we adjusted quite well and for the better. And the solution for us was creating remote workshops and encouraging people to host remote workshops instead of in person. So right off the bat, for health and safety, we suspended in-person workshops, and we wouldn't even let people apply on our site, and so we wouldn't approve any. Then we updated our organizer's manual with instructions and guidelines to remote workshops, also with suggested platforms. And we then opened applications for remote workshops. That worked out well, and since then, we have kept online workshops or the remote workshops available, but also in person. This allows flexibility for local people depending and throughout, depending on their local laws and regulations in relation to COVID, but also it empowers them to make the best decision for their community. Another benefit of these remote workshops is if they struggle with finding a venue, a great benefit for people who want to attend. If there's no Django Girls in their town, they could find one that's online. Or if they have limited mobility and they can't leave their house, for example, they could also join. So I think that this has only made us more inclusive, and I think that's a great thing going forward.
The next challenge that we face social media changes. So we mostly relied on Twitter, which is now X, to showcase our work, communicate with our community. And after the ownership of Twitter changed, most developers I know, they moved away from Twitter, and so our posts now were getting low visibility because most developers had moved to face-to-face. Oh, sorry. So our solution was to now try and utilize other social media channels, and through the branding for our and social media planned from our communications officer, just for during the short time that she was with us, we've shifted our engagement from being mostly on X and to use LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So you can follow our socials, which are on this slide, and also when we post something, just give us, share our posts so that we have more reach.
Yeah, go follow us, please, and tag us in things that are relevant. We'd love to share your stories with our wider community and be more connected. So success stories, so this is a fun one. We have individual success stories. 2 folks came up to me this morning and said, hey, I got a job from Django Girls, and I was like, tell me more, because me too, I got a job because of Django Girls and the Django community. And that's great. We have individual success stories. We also have leadership success stories. People who have stepped into leadership roles because of the support of the community. I want to talk about a little bit different as a community, as an organization. What does success look like for us? So in our impact, Django Girls Survey, Django Girls Survey 2024. So in 2016, we did an impact survey, and we recently carried out another one for 2024 because it's our 10 year. 10-year anniversary, and so thanks to JetBrains and PyCharm, they helped us put that survey together and get it out. It is still open, so the numbers I'll show you or we'll talk about today are not the final ones, and I encourage everyone, if you've volunteered with Django Girls or attended a workshop, to go fill out that survey. It's very useful. I can share it in the Slack. It's also on our Twitter account pinned at the top. So let's kind of look at the results. First, we'll look at demographics. You can't see all these, you don't need to, I'll just tell you what they are. So who's attending our workshops? The biggest age range is 30 to 34. I thought that was interesting, and it's a normal distribution. Seems like after that, on either side, it kind of decreases as you go. But I kind of started around that time as well. I feel like that's probably a good transitive, time for change in someone's life, try a new career, learn something new. And the next thing that's really interesting, before I go farther, I will say that the people who filled out our surveys are people that are likely following us on social media, or the newsletters, or the blog, things like that. So it might be a bit skewed, I'm just saying, but let's still celebrate. So 69% are either working in tech or plan to work in tech thanks to Django Girls. And so I think it was 44% said they got into tech because of Django Girls, and then the rest are planning to. And out of those, 82% are programming. I think that's awesome. And it's not going to be a surprise to you that the top languages are Python, Django, HTML, CSS, SQL. And another question we had on the survey is, what other impact has this had on you? The number one answer with 65% was, I had fun. And I think that's a success story. If people can come and have fun doing programming, that's great. But even besides that, they were inspired by other women in tech. They made friends and expanded their network. And another one was that we asked folks if they're learning or if they continue to learn programming after the workshop, and 71% said they did. They kept learning, and 10% said they plan to. And another fun statistic is that 84% of the volunteers, the coaches and organizers, said that they got a deeper understanding of Django because of their involvement with the workshop. I think that's great. So there's various ways we're awesome, okay? We're successful. But what can we improve on? So we also want feedback. What else can we give you? So they would love a more connected community. We use Slack, and so people ask that they would love to see if we were more active there. The other thing is they would love to see longer experiences, more trainings, more intermediate workshops, and access to quality training. And for learning, people who are learning programming, they said they hoped we could help provide funding, laptops, because some people don't have them, more opportunities, again, e-learning courses, continued mentorship, funding for training like webinars and tutorials. And all of these things we would love to do. And if you have an idea that I could do that, I have resources or I have money to help you do that, talk to me. I'm at the booth all conference, okay? But yeah, so there is room for improvement, and we're open to ideas. All right, next, another success that is important to me are the leaders. So Django Girls doesn't just create programmers, it creates leaders. It's an incubator for leadership. And you can see here some awesome people, and I'll go through them each. But Django Girls and the Django community creates a supportive environment that allows folks to step into those roles. And so first we see Katya Nakamura. She's here. I don't know where she is, but hi. She has a similar story to me timeline-wise. She attended Django Girls in 2015. In 2016, she got an opportunity grant to come to DjangoCon Europe, where she was a coach at Django Girls. And then since then, she's organized all around the world, various Django Girls events. And in 2020, she was elected to the Django Software Foundation board. And since then, she's been also recently working with the working group for DjangoCon Europe. And this is because she got introduced to Django through Django Girls, and then, well, DjangoCon Europe too, okay? And then we see a couple of, so we have Anna Schwendler and Lisa Quatman. They have been doing awesome work in Berlin. Some of you might know them. I know that they've organized various locations over the past 10 years. Both of them have been heavily involved, but Berlin just celebrated their 10 years doing Django workshops consistently. And so that's like really a success story for me. And then, okay, another friend of mine, we have Dawn Wages. She's here as well, and she'll be speaking workshop later. Okay, what can I say here? She's director with the Python Software Foundation. She's a Django Not Space co-founder. She's organized DjangoCon US, DjangoCon Africa, DjangoCon Europe. I mean, she's all over the place. And again, her story similarly starts from a Django girl's beginnings, right? And then Anna. Anna is amazing. She's a former Django Software Foundation president. She's Django Girls trustee. She's organized, she has organized DjangoCon Europe, and she is currently DjangoCon Africa organizer. And then me, you've heard enough about me, DjangoCon US organizer, Django Not Space co-founder, also trustee with Django Girls, and Django Hero. And then we have Aisha Bale and Leona, so they're our podcast hosts. They're also trustees. And I know they've organized and coached various times throughout, and they similarly have beginnings with Django Girls. And I know Aisha is really heavily involved with the Nigerian Python community. Let's talk about going forward.
Okay, so what's next in our future? We have a few plans that we have for the future of Django Girls. We are making changes to our website, and we have added new ways to donate directly from the website. So you can donate using via PayPal or Stripe from our donate pages, and we have also changed the layout to our website menu. We've already changed the menu, but we are going to be doing changes to the layout soon. And we're also going to do changes to our admin dashboard. This is to do. So if you'd like to contribute to our website, you can always talk to me, and you can join our contributors. Then the other thing is we want to improve the maintenance of our resources. So we have continuously been getting feedback from organizers and attendees after they've attended the workshop that the tutorial is too long, and we need to find a way to shorten it so that people can be able to go through it within a day, as is the plan. So we are hoping to work on that soon. And we are also, we've already added a tutorial extension for Worktail, and we are hoping to add more so that our attendees can have more work to do after they have attended the workshop, so that we have intermediate workshop plans for our alumni. And then the other thing that we are working on is coming up with a Django Girls Bootcamp, which will be launched first in the UK. So this will be a 12 to 16 week coding bootcamp, which we feel is an ambitious extension of our mission, but we are trying to tailor it specifically for women who are busy with work, family, and other things. But it will be a comprehensive training in web development covering HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, and Django. So we hope that in addition to the technical skills, the bootcamp will focus on professional development, allowing participants to work on personal and open source projects. So if you would like to get involved again with us in developing the materials, or you'd like to be a mentor, you can always talk to us about this.
All right, so small change, Django Girls Plus. This is our new logo. We have new branding package, fonts, and messaging. And this came out of, like I had mentioned earlier, our inclusion audit, but also people keep asking us, am I included, am I included? So we have rebranded with the plus to be like, yes, you are included. And it's a very common symbol in the LGBTQIA plus community. And so we kind of borrowed from that while maintaining our name and logo. We have really high name recognition, so we didn't want to change it too much, but this was our kind of compromise. And so you'll be seeing this from now on, yay. Also, happy Pride. Yeah. So we also, with the new brand and logo, we have a new limited edition t-shirt, 10 years of Django Girls. We have an online store, and we will add it to our website today, and I can share that with you online as well. We have all of our old designs, but the new one as well if you'd like to order something. And this is to celebrate our 10 years. It's a pretty big milestone. Thank you, shout out to Joni at YupGup for helping us put those together in a pinch. She was wonderful. But yeah, go get your t-shirts. All right.
And the call for action. So we're looking for new contributors to our tutorial, to our manuals, to our website. Burnout didn't just happen to our support team, but it also happened to our contributors. So the ones that were there at the beginning, very few are still contributing. So we are always looking for new contributors to work with us on our resources since they are open source. And then you can donate to us as well. There are many ways to donate to us. We have introduced GitHub sponsors. You can also organize or coach at our events. There's a Django Girls event this weekend. You can also participate there. Then we have website and tutorials, contributions, how to, if you don't feel like you can contribute technically, you can also contribute our README guides as well.
If somebody wants to be our first GitHub sponsor, I'll give you a t-shirt at the booth, so get on there.
So what's up for our 10th anniversary?
All right, so one way to celebrate our 10-year anniversary or birthday was we wanted to put a new video together. And so we asked one of the co-founders to submit a message, and we wanted to share that with you. I spent hours looking on YouTube, finding all of the Django Girls videos from workshops all around the world, and I'm hoping that we can put a playlist together so you don't have to do that yourselves. But it was really heartwarming to see how big the impact has been, and how happy it is. So we wanted to share this video with you. I'll let Anna touch the computer.
Desarrollar no solamente debe ser de hombres, debe de ser de todos.
생각했던 것보다 훨씬 재밌는 것 같아요. 네.
Decide what you want and go for it.
Estoy muy feliz porque ha sido una experiencia súper genial, enriquecedora.
Hi, I'm Ola Sendecka, one of the founders of Django Girls. When I was preparing the very first Django Girls workshop 10 years ago with my friend Ola, I wouldn't have imagined what a wonderful chapter of my life this event would open. These years proved to me that every one of us has the power to change the world. What we need is working together as a community, taking one step at a time, showing up every day to make big things happen. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have believed that Django Girls would be present in 100 countries, and thousands of women would fall in love with programming. That I would see Django Girls alumni and conference venues as speakers and open source contributors. That wouldn't be possible without the amazing Django community and thousands of organizers around the world who wanted to give something to others, share their love and passion for tech. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Happy 10-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah. So, as you know, if somebody has a birthday, they do get presents. So, we're kind of expecting birthday presents. That's why we came to DjangoCon Europe to celebrate our birthday here. So, you can donate to us via GitHub sponsors, like Rachell has said. The first person to donate through our GitHub sponsors will get a Django Girls 10th anniversary t-shirt. So, please hurry up and donate to us. You can also join us on Patreon. The link is on our website. You can sign up for monthly donations through Patreon. Then if you'd like, you can donate via our donate page where there is a PayPal form or a Stripe form. Or you can scan the QR code there to donate via Stripe. If your company would like to become our corporate sponsors, its fundraising has been a bit tight this year, finding new sponsors, you can come talk to me and we'll discuss the corporate sponsorship packages and how we can work together. So please, let's get the birthday presents rolling. My birthday is also my personal birthday, 30th June at the end of this month. So for my birthday also, you can also donate to Django Girls again. So we are really calling out for the 10th anniversary presents through your donations. And you can also help amplify our fundraising this month in July, because our birthday is in July. Is that Baptiste? Oh, one of our founding trustees is the audience. Good to see you. So please donate to us, and yeah, thank you. That's all from us. We'd like to thank every organizer who's here, every coach who's here, everyone who has contributed to our resources online, our old support team members, trustees, our advisory board members, everyone who has contributed to making Django Girls what it has been. We are just the faces that you see, but the reach that we have had hasn't been made possible by just what we have been doing, but because of all of you. I've never been to the many countries where events have taken place, but events have still taken place there because of all our volunteers who have made this possible. I would also like to thank all the companies that have supported us since we started as our corporate sponsors. Django Girls wouldn't have been able to get to 10 years without your support. So everyone who has supported us through donations or through sponsorship, through organizing an event, coaching, we want to say thank you for your work and keep supporting us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. If anyone has any questions, please. Yep.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Is this on? Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Rachel. What do you think you might be talking about in 2034 if you're on stage here?
That's a low. You go ahead.
Okay. So we have plans for the boot camp, and while we are planning to launch it in the UK, first we hope to be able to spread it to other countries as well. Like what happened with Django Girls. It started as an event at EuroPython, and then it spread to everywhere else globally. So our plans for 2030, we hope to be probably calling for action for people to help us with our boot camps, for mentors, also hoping for more career opportunities for the women who attend our boot camps, for people to be hiring them, because the current scenario that we have is people attend a workshop and then the honors is up to them to keep learning and get themselves a job. And we want to be a part of their programming journey going forward, helping them, get their first step into getting hired in tech, getting their first job, and keep introducing more women to be working in tech. So we are hoping that for 2030, probably will be calling out for people to hire our boot camps.
And kind of going back to that survey results, people are telling us what they want, right? They want more training, they want job opportunities, and they want laptops. Like, okay, wish list, right? We could pay for people's laptops in our community, or provide laptops for folks who don't have them, and help them learn programming, and have a boot camp, and they can complete that, and that would smooth right into an internship with some of our sponsors, for example, if there were some. Like, how cool would that be if we had a pipeline from Django Girls all the way through developer? That's my kind of wish list. Is it going to happen? We'll see. With your support, maybe. So go ahead and donate. Any other questions? Carlton, yeah. We gotta wait for a microphone.
Thank you for the talk. You said Django Girls has been active in over 90 countries. Do you have an estimate for the number of people that have been through the workshop?
How many people have been through?
Okay. The last time I checked, we're over 22,000. It's on our website. I don't have the exact number now because it keeps changing, but we have now over 22,000 women who have attended our workshops.
Right. And if you have any more questions that you'd like to talk with us about, we have a booth, and you can come visit us there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anna
Thank you.
and Rachel.